Good day. Today, we are going to learn how to identify linear functions. Now, linear functions graphically are very, very easy to see. Linear functions have to be a straight line or lie in a straight pattern. So this one is definitely not linear because it's curvy, right? It's squiggling back and forth. This one is a straight line. That is linear. Now, I want to emphasize it doesn't necessarily have to be a solid line to be a linear function. It just has to follow a linear pattern or a straight line. So it could be a series of dots that lie in a straight line. But this one definitely is linear. Now, equation-wise, you got to be a little bit more careful. Equations can look a lot different from one to the next. The main thing, in order for it to be linear, we can't have any exponents on variables, and we can't have any square roots, and we can't have any division by x. But this one is just simply a y equals mx plus b. And in fact, all linear equations should be able to be reduced to the form of a y equals mx plus b. So this one's definitely linear. This one, nice curve to it, so definitely not linear. Perfectly straight, that's linear. This one, again, it's a output or a y. I'd say y, but f of x equals some slope times x. That's definitely a linear graph. Again, I see a nice little bend or curve in it, so that's not linear. Nice straight line, that's linear. Again, it's a series of points, but if you'll notice, those points don't lie in a straight line, so it's definitely nonlinear. Now, those are a bunch of points that lie in a straight line. So like I said, it doesn't have to necessarily be a solid line, but that definitely is linear because they lie in a straight path. Okay, here, again, as I look through this, I notice this x value, this x variable, has an exponent. We can't have any exponents other than 1. I mean, technically, this x has a 1 exponent, and that would have been all right. If I had removed this 10x squared term, then it would be linear. But since it has a 10x squared, it's definitely nonlinear. This is definitely linear. It's a horizontal line at 9/5. So just because there's no x, that still doesn't mean it's not linear. It can be linear with it. It's just a constant. Get a bunch of points lying in a straight line, obviously linear. Get a nice curve, obviously not linear. Nice straight line, linear. Again, output f of x equals a slope of 1x minus 7 halves, or a y-intercept. That's definitely linear. Y equals mx plus b. Ooh, look at that huge exponent on that x. Definitely not linear. Now this is one of the confusing ones. I could actually separate this into two fractions, make it a h of x equals a negative 5 halves minus 1/2 x. This is linear. You could simplify it or reduce it to a form of y equals mx plus b. Definitely linear. Wow, look at that weird curvy bunch of points. Non-linear, right? This one is definitely linear, just because, I mean, it looks funny, but I could actually push this as a 1/2 x, or a slope of 1/2. This is my y-intercept, y equals mx plus b, just the terms are kind of switched around. That is definitely linear. Ooh, I have a division by x. Be careful here. I cannot divide by x. If I divide by x, if you were to put this in a graphing calculator or something, this would curve. You cannot ever divide by the variable. That actually gives you an x to the negative 1 exponent, but you can't have a negative 1 exponent. So that's definitely nonlinear. Ooh, we got an exponent that is the x. That's definitely nonlinear. That's an exponential. Ooh, our first square root one. Remember, square roots can't have a square root to be linear. That's going to be curving. X, that would be actually an exponent of 1/2. If you want to understand that someday, ask me in class. This is linear, right? It's just a horizontal line, so that's definitely linear. Ooh, I got an exponent of 2. That's definitely nonlinear. I got an exponent of 10, nonlinear. This one is that linear one again. It's just written as a fraction that I could separate into 2. I could write this as a y equals mx plus b. That's definitely linear. And last one, again, dividing by x. You can never divide by the variable. That's going to be linear. I mean, you can divide by the x, but it's a non-linear graph. If you have any questions, please bring them to class, and I will